Hello everyone, I'm back at it again. Yes, I am. I had a slow drain here. No, not because I had the microcloth here. That's not why I had a slow drain. Stop it. So, I had to go, this is a um, pedestal sink. So it's like one leg is here. Is the bowl and then one leg. So I had to go behind it and unscrew. I had gloves on. Actually, they were double plied, if you will. And I had to go and take this apart to see if it was this that was causing it not to flow properly. As you can see, it's clean. So it wasn't this. I wiped it off anyway because someone poured some paint down there. So, yeah, who did it? I'm not gonna say. But anyway, it was still draining okay. But over time, this drain got slower and slower and slower. So I'm like, wait a minute. Sometimes you're just doing other things, you're just not paying no attention. You're like, I get to it. And then sometimes you think, oh my gosh, I have to call a plumber, it's gonna cost this much, so on and so forth. So it makes you kind of frustrated, excuse me, to the point you put it on the back burner, at least for me. So I just kind of like got fed up. I said my prayers and I asked for guidance. I did look on YouTube and they were saying how you take this apart, so I was able to do that. And look at this. That is cracked, but it doesn't prohibit the motion to raise this here up and down. Yeah, I'm doing a one hand motion, a one hand band, if you will. It goes in here. It's like a seesaw. When you pull that particular lever up here, up, this will cause it to go down, to, in terms of the clogging part. Let me just remove this here, okay? So that goes in there. I tried it both ways, like this and like this. It's better to put it in like this, okay? And what happens, this bar here goes into this hook right here. See this hook right here? All right. And that allows it to go up and down so you can get your water to hold, and you have this rubber thing around it to seal it. So you put that in there like so, and then you would pull this up. See that gadget? That's the way that would go. But because I don't have this on it, you're not going to see the motion yet. So what I had to do is, let me just tell you, sweat, almost cried, but I just kept on pushing, guys. I know I can do it. I'm familiar, and I'm knowledgeable, but after my psychotic break, things mentally and physically changed for me in so many different ways. However, I feel like I'm getting back to, I'm not 100% where I used to be, but I'm more willing to challenge some things. So here we go. So what I did is, see this hold here? This is, if you have a slow drain and it's not this issue, this piece is not broken, which is stopping this from releasing to allow the water to drain. If it's not those two things, and it wasn't my P pipe that's underneath here, and it wasn't in here, I cleaned all of that out. I mean, it was nothing in there. And I have my wet vac here, and that helps me to suction the water out of here. And that's what I did. But I pour let some more water drain through here to get it to a certain level so I can use my plunger. Granted, this is my plunger. No, it's not dirty. I had some spray. Yeah, somebody sprayed it, but anyway, it's not dirty. See? So yeah. And so you see how it's not a perfect suction. You got to have a perfect suction under here and all that kind of good stuff. So what I did is I took this thing off. Ooh. I took it off. and I used this. It gave me the proper seal. You see that under there? And I filled it up with water so that I can have the seal with the water and the air pushing it through, and I plunge. But whenever you see a sink that has this here, this hold is to prevent your sink from overflowing. This is like the backup sink, if you will. So the water that's in your bowl gets so high, instead of it spilling over, it goes into here, okay? So whenever you plunge in here, the air flows through here and it's gonna come out here. And you know when you're suctioning, you need that pressure. So I decided to take this cloth and I pressed it in here a couple times, just held it here while I plunged, water splashed back out a little bit. So you have to be aware of that. And then when the water splashed out, it had like black particles with it, and then some of the white particles here. And so what I did is I took the wet vac and just suctioned it out, and then I plunged, put more water in, plunge again, covered this hole really tight so that I would have the pressure in the air going right through the main drain here. And the next thing you know, guys, it was clear. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, Jesus. It's clear. All of it's clear. Oh, my seal is still open. Oops. Real life. If this is not in the back of this thing here, don't run your water, because it's going to come right out the hole just as what it did. But I still have a bucket there, so it's all good. And I have my wet vac, so I'm good on that. But yeah, guys, it's all good now. It's nice and clean. Don't see that? I love it. Oh my gosh, I love this. You don't know. Oh my gosh, I always took the water out with the wet vac. So I never had standing water just sitting in here. So if you ever have an issue like this, if you can't, just take a cup and dump all the water out. Go to your local hardware store and get a wet vac and hook it up, plug it up, and it'll suction all the water out of your sink, and you can keep it nice and clean. And maybe you put a sign on it, please don't use, or put a bucket in here if you have to, until you're able to get a plumber to look at it, or if you have someone who knows how to fix unclog it for you, do so. But you don't have to keep a dirty sink. You can keep it nice and clean, even though it could be clogged. But in this case, it's unclogged. I kept it clean. So I'm so happy, guys. You just have no idea. You know how much money, again, I saved? Whew, girl, I just look like this. I'm just saying. All right, guys, love yourself, know yourself, be yourself, change yourself to improve yourself. Yes, I wish I could fit in this sink. That would be awesome. Later.